This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. We're here in Jeddah and I'm joined by Richie Woodhall. Richie, firstly, how are you?
Very good indeed. Lucky to be here. But yeah, really looking forward to it.
Good to hear. Now, obviously, we're here for a huge rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Joshua for the Unified World Heavyweight Championship. Just want to get your take and your thoughts as to what to expect on Saturday night.
What to expect? That's a great question. What I think we hope for is a different Joshua performance. I think it's got to be a much improved performance to win the fight. So yes, that's what I'm expecting. Obviously, you know, I've worked with AJ in the past with the GB Olympic squad. I've helped him along the way, I would like to think, and I know what it means to him to win. But it's got to be different this time. So it's a tough fight, man. But it's got to be different.
People continue to use the word aggressive with Anthony heading into this rematch, but what do you read into that? Do you think it is as easy as just being aggressive against somebody like Oleksandr Usyk?
I don't really know how to answer that, because I agree he's got to be aggressive, but you've got to remember you're in against a very skillful opponent in Oleksandr Usyk, who's so used to aggressive fighters coming at him all day long. He's predominantly a counter-puncher, so he prefers that style in front of him. So it's got to be educated pressure, educated aggression, if you like. It's not just a case of ding-ding, crash-bang, wallop, get stuck in there, because AJ will get taken apart if he's careless. So he's got to do it with a clever brain, a clever head. I think, yes, he's got to be aggressive, but in the right way. And like I say, educated pressure, most certainly. I think his downfall last time was that his feet were just a little bit too slow. You know, his reactions weren't quite there, and it just slipped away. So I think he's got to be faster with his feet, most certainly. Yes, aggressive with that, but he's got to do it with a clever. He's got to be smart doing it, and that's not going to be easy. This is going to be a really hard fight for AJ. Can he do it? Yes, he can. I think he can. I think he's showed that throughout his amateur career. Boxing as an international, dealing with different styles, which will hold him in good stead, I think, for this fight as well. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to it, but it's not going to be easy, this.
Richie, speaking to people this week once again, and Eddie Hearn being another name, he's saying that AJ needs to be successful early on in those first maybe 3-4 rounds. He needs to be asserting his dominance almost. Is that going to be a major factor for AJ if he's going to have success on Saturday night?
I think he could be right. I think he's got to be dominant, probably mentally as well as physically, to be quite honest. I think if he starts strong, and he starts being successful early, that will help him confidence-wise. If, on the other hand, Usyk starts quick and catches Josh with some really good shots and hurts him early on, then again it's going to be a mountain to climb. So I think a positive, good start for AJ is really important. But I think mentally as well as physically, because I think mentally, if he holds it together and he can build off that, then an important start. Yeah, I think it'll only be a good thing for him.
What do you expect Oleksandr Usyk to do differently? Speaking to people this week, some have suggested he might look a little thicker. Just spoke to Gareth A. Davis, who thinks he looks a little thicker in his torso. Is that maybe a sign that he wants to be a bit more aggressive himself?
No, he won't be more aggressive. I don't think so, because he's not that. It's not that real aggressive style that he's got. Like I say, what makes him so good? He's probably good at doing a little bit of everything. He can go on the front foot, most certainly. He prefers fighters to come to him, so that's why he deals with aggressive fighters. Not the biggest of heavyweights, but he gets away with it because he's very skillful, and I think he's got decent power, and he's probably more powerful than what people think he is. So again, I think he will, as well as AJ up in his game, he'll be probably a classic case of Usyk up in his game. I think he could take it to another level because of his skills that he's got, but predominantly, like I said, because he's got counter-punching ability, he'll prefer a fighter coming at him all day long. So that's why it's a tricky fight for AJ. We all know he's got to put more pressure on and be aggressive with his feet especially, but that's what Oleksandr Usyk prefers him. So I think if what will be important for me is, like I said, for AJ to start positively. If he can catch him early with a good shot, then I think that could turn the table for Joshua.
I've seen some people suggest that AJ's maybe become a little gun shy at this most recent chapter of his career, and the link up with Robert Garcia will hopefully bring that dog back into him. For somebody who's known him for so many years and worked with him from a younger age, do you think that he might be a little bit more gun shy now, or do you disagree with that?
I don't think he's gun shy. I think he's a little bit more educated in his boxing now, and so he probably doesn't take the risks that he used to take. You know, he's no spring chicken now, you won't mind me saying that. He's fit and strong, but he's more experienced now. So, yeah, listen, he's got to be careful. I don't think he's gun shy. I think that the rematch against Andy Ruiz, I've heard people say that he looks a little bit gun shy there, but for me, it's horses for courses. He chose the right tactics against a strong opponent. And then people looked at that, and some people looked at that negatively. They thought, you know, he's a little bit gun shy, but I didn't agree with that. I thought he boxed really well. I thought he chose the right tactics. At the end of the day, he was against a strong opponent, and he sorted him out, and he won the fight. So, but yeah, this one will be interesting how he goes about it. New coach now. He says he's got to be more aggressive, so we'll see. But like I say, it's got to be educated pressure.
Right, Richie, I appreciate your time now. I know you've got other work to do, which you're getting paid for, so I appreciate your time. Thank you for speaking to me in ID Boxing.
Nice one, thank you.